Yeah. Joe, you said you thought hockey ended a while ago. You get my boo of the night for making fun of such a great sport.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is
By
there
the way,
a cash award with that?
Well, you beat out Govington saying the police should have used flamethrowers on the rioters for boo of the night.
That's a sensible approach.
Yeah. Also, you brought up hooligans, and of course, Vancouver's mayor is blaming the violence on hooligans. Why do hooligans always get blamed?
I don't know.
I don't know. Can I see Kevin's reaction shot again? No, I enjoy that.
Were you measuring something there, Kevin?
I was.
Yeah.
I refer you back to my previous statement about the bar.
Exactly, exactly. And lastly, this is how stupid these rioters are. There's a Facebook page called Vancouver Riot Pics. Post your photos, and they're actually posting photos of themselves.
Really?
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah. Helpful to the police, as always, those Canadians.
Yes.
I will say my hair looked really good in some of those shots.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yep.
Come and get me.
I am done. Goodbye, pervert.
All right, go away. Coming up, what's wrong with using the poor as throw pillows? We discuss Jedediah Biela's new coffee table book, my thoughts on interior design with the poor. Whoa, Nelly, is that hot girls I see? I can only assume a debate on supply-side economics is coming up. Yikes. Hey, you. Whoa. Should women bristle when hard hats whistle? That chatty feminist blog Jezebel has taken issue with Slate's advice columnist who told an angry victim of catcalls to essentially shut up and enjoy it. Writes Dear Prudence of male rudeness, quote, catcalls spark a vestigial memory in me. A couple of decades ago, I used to hear vocal judgments from men. At the time, it was annoying. Yet given their absence, I have to admit, it wasn't all bad. Her point, when you get really, really old, you'll miss the lewd commentary from sweaty men. Don't I know it? Jezebel's response, quote again, we'd all be better off if catcalling didn't exist. Tell me about it, girlfriend. We can all agree we're better off that this does exist. Oh. In a teapot. Oh. In a teapot. Where do they come up with this stuff?
Oh, I just had an orgasm.
Oh, jeez. Oh, all right. Whew. Kevin, you have daughters. Congratulations. Does that affect your opinion or your behavior on the street when you see other women walking by?
Yeah, it does. And frankly, my little girls are exceptionally beautiful, and given the fact that they're still quite small,
yes,
the idea that somebody's going to be catcalling them at some point in their future life makes me want to resort to violence. But I do find this whole story sort of absurd in regard to the fact that if you get on in life and you get a bit older, saying you miss catcalling is a bit like saying, well, I quite miss the time when I didn't urinate myself when I giggle and laugh. Or I miss the time that I didn't get up to pee 5 times a night. I mean, you've just got to accept this is part of the aging process. And if you're not hot anymore and you're a bit saggy and a bit loose, so be it.
Yes.
That is the way life is. And, yeah, I mean, c'est la vie.
C'est la vie. Always puts a nice little twist on things. Jedediah, you're a lady.
I am.
Do catcalls bother you, and why?
Not really.
No.
You know, and I think there is going to be some truth to this, that one day when I'm old and gray and, you know, sitting, you know, heaven knows where, probably in Florida, that's where most retired people go. But I think I'll think back on some of these construction workers that I like to often, you know, kind of almost beat up now and think, you know, it wasn't so bad. And crazy stalkers aside.
Yes.
You know, but the average whistle here and there, I think there will be a fondness.
Kind of gives me a little spark in my walk when I hear a whistle. I like to walk
Especially
by.
from construction work.
Oh, of course.
Oh.
Joe, here's the thing that people don't talk about. I believe there's a class division in this. That there is a class of guys who do this, and then there's a class of guys who think about doing it and don't do it. But all guys do it. When they're walking down the street and they see a woman, they're all thinking the same thing.
Sure.
But there's a split. You know, there's the, you know, they always say it's a construction worker. It's never the professor.
I guess whistling is the blue-collar way of tweeting a picture of your groin.
Yes.
To someone who maybe don't have computer access at work.
True.
I don't know why everyone's so down on catcalling the elderly. I think that's you get more bang for your buck because it takes so long for the women to walk by.
Yes.
Right.
Have a lot of opportunities to keep hitting.
Yeah.
Shake it, don't break it, or your hip possibly. You can work some things out as they go by.
That's such a and you know what? They can't get offended because most of them can't hear it. So you're
no harm, no foul.
Yeah, exactly. You're enjoying it. They're enjoying it. Bill, you hang out by construction sites, usually wearing satin pink hot pants, hoping for catcalls, yet they ignore you. Does that hurt your self-esteem?
A little. It's a great work out there because I'm there for hours on end just walking back and forth. It's better than a Stairmaster.
Yes.
Side note, Catcalls. Amazing name for a store for blackberries for felines.
Ah, it's a great
Welcome
idea.
to Catcalls.
You know, I gotta say
Meow,
this.
meow, 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 meow.
It's
Meow, 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 meow.
stop it.
Meow, 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 meow.
Stop
That's
it.
really weird,
Don't-
Bill.
Meow,
Get
meow.
him off camera now, because he won't stop. You know what the thing is, though? People have noted this before. This is not. This has never been a successful way to meet women. Like, you don't run into a woman that goes, "Well, how did you meet?" "Oh, well, my husband. I was walking by and he said, 'Hey, yo, nice.'" and now we're married.
You know what?
Oh, I disagree.
One observation I have, though,
Yeah.
the more polished and professional the guy, the more grotesque the statements that usually come from them are.
Really?
That's my experience. So, like those rugged guys, everyone gives construction workers a bad name. My experience is they'll whistle, but some of the vulgar, crazy stuff that comes does come from people who look like professors or bankers
Yeah,
or, you know,
they're the
suit and tie
pervs.
kind of guys. Yeah.
They're the pervs.
Someone should, this is a good thing to write in and explain to me via our red eye email, because you know what? It's one thing to actually use the Queen's English. What I never understood is this. Did you ever hear that? They make this weird noise. Like, is that some sort of code that I'm not aware of?
I don't know what that means, but it frightens me.
Yeah, they do that
Gentlemen-
when the girls
a
come
gentleman
by.
honks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to move on, but most men do this in Midtown because they know they're never going to see the woman again. That's
Right.
the way to look at it. That's
Yeah.
why they do it. All right. From catcalling jerks to phones that don't work. The Wall Street Journal, a real newspaper, spoke to a bunch of former Apple store employees and found out that they're trained to be monsters. Yep, employees are told to say the phrase, "as it turns out," instead of the word "unfortunately," so as to sound less negative when they're unable to solve a technical problem. And of course, they should be shot for this. Instead, during their week-long training, they have to watch this on a loop. See, if that's part of the training, I might pick up an application. Kevin, I want to go to you. Why is it so easy to pick on Apple? Do you like Apple?
Well, I like the products, but I find their method of selling just disgusting. There's a few things that I can't stand about it. The first is there's always like 498 members of staff in the store and 11 customers, and they all wear the same stupid shirts. The second thing is they have personalised greetings, which incidentally is quite funny because you go in there and say hello in 26 languages and they have to accommodate you, or you could like kiss them or grope them or do something weird, and they've got to reciprocate the greeting because it's personalised service. But here's the thing, when I buy something on the off chance I need a new keyboard or some crap, I can't find the cash register because the cash register is an iMac and all the staff are walking around with iPads that you can't buy because they're off the shelves. It's like go in there and you just want to mow everyone down and leave. So no, look, good product, absolutely appalling method of selling.
I love the Apple people. What are you doing?
It's not an idea, it's an interpretation.
Oh, please, please.
I remember my
Jenna,
flamethrower.
I love the Apple products, but I dread going to the store.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
Why is that? Can't they fix that?
It's a nightmare. I don't know. I mean, and the thing is, this is only going to enrage people more. If I showed up with my iPod, which I love, and it had just exploded or done something weird, and an employee said to me, "As it turns out," they would have an angry Sicilian on their hands.
Yeah.
Because that's just not acceptable. This reminds me of like a guy in a fight with his wife, and he, I just lost my train of thought.
That's all
guy
right.
in a fight with his wife.
Typical lady.
That is terribly accurate,
See,
Greg.
I start talking about marriage and I lose my train of thought.
There you
That's
go.
the
There you
lesson.
go. Joe, last word to you. Is it because they have customers over a barrel because their products are so good that they really, if you have to endure their customer service because you don't have a choice?
Oh, of
Because you
course.
want their product.
Well, I'm still waiting for service for my Apple Newton.
Yes.
It's been 25 years now.
I forgot about that.
I remembered, too, what I was going to say, which I have to say before I lose it again, which is that a guy in a fight with his wife who remains incredibly calm can be very irritating to her, and that's asking for a beating. Same thing going on.
We got to go. We got to say goodbye to Kevin Garlington, who was obviously kidding about gunning down people in the Mac store. You better be joking, my friend. All right, good to see you. Don't shake your head like that. Time for another break. And remember to check out the new Red Eye podcast. There's a new one every day to catch them. Go to foxnewsradio.com and click on Red Eye. Tonight, we talked about my guest hosting the Glenn Beck Show on Friday. Yay. And now it's time for another Red Eyes Where Are They Now? How could anyone forget this disturbing video?
That was in 2010. Edward Turtleman suffered multiple fractures and sued his best friend, Paul St. Croix, for unspecified damages. It started out as a bitter civil trial, and court documents reveal a possible motive behind the unprovoked attack. St. Croix claims that Turtleman had been having an affair with his wife. Turtleman adamantly denied the claim, and the pair eventually settled out of court for an undisclosed amount. Then, in early 2011, the pair reconciled and opened a small surf shop in the British Virgin Islands. This has been a Red Eye. Where are they now?
I was so happy it was a happy ending, Joe.
I love when animals are jerks.
I know. But, they made up, and I like that. Bill, did you see that coming?
No, why did they go to the U.S. Virgin Islands? First of all, the taxes. Second of all, when did they become so unpatriotic?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe a bed and breakfast in Vermont.
Yeah, that's my favorite place to go.
Oh, really?
Really? But, judging by the music, I could tell that it was going to be a really pleasant reunion.
Yeah, we kind of telegraphed that with the music. That was probably our fault. Thanks for telling me that. I'm going to fire our music person. Thanks. I told you not to do that. This is your last warning. We'll close things out with a post-game wrap-up from TV's Andy Levy. To see clips of recent shows, go to foxnews.com/redeye. Yeah. Well, it's going to be a busy Friday for me. First, I'll be on Glenn Beck's program at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be playing the role of a game show host. It's going to be a lot of fun for the whole hour. Then I'll also be on the O'Reilly Factor at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Coming up tomorrow on the next Red Eye, we got return appearances from the great comedian Sherrod Small, former White House intern Kayleigh McEnany, and singer-songwriter Tell It to My Heart, Seth Swirsky. Time to go back to TV's Andy Levy for the post-game wrap-up.
Thanks, Greg. Hey, Jedediah, any new Daily Caller columns to promote?
Yes, next week, Daily Caller, Wednesday. Stay tuned. Good stuff.
All right. Oh, you really teased the hell out of that one.
dailycaller.com.
Okay. What's it going to be about?
I can't say. It's top secret.
You haven't written it yet, have you?
No, of course not. I do know the topic, though.
Oh, you do?
So, yeah.
Okay.
What is it?
No, I can't say. Top secret.
It's Wiener.
Not Wiener. I promise it has nothing to do with wieners.
Okay. It's Wiener. Joe, you got any shows coming up?
I do this weekend. I'll be at Governor's Comedy Club in Long Island, my home club. And if people email me through my website, I might throw some passes your way.
Really? What's your website?
JoeDeVito.com.
How odd. Where is Governor's?
It's in Levittown, Long Island.
Oh, okay, sure.
It's not a funny name.
We could put a banana in there somewhere.
Yeah. Has there ever been a comedy club called Hecklers? Because that would be fun.
I think it would encourage bad things.
Yes,
I don't really.
it would. I would like that.
Hey, I'm on camera. How you doing?
Like a bar called DUIs.
Yes.
Yeah, that's...
I guess we got to go now.
Yeah, we do.
All right. We got to say thanks to Kevin, who's not here. Jedediah, well done as always.